Every day is a good day, and I hope you enjoy the show. Greetings, mortals. Brimthen here, and today we're going to be talking about Khephix SMP. This was a dream project of mine from 2 years ago, and a lot of the content that was made from it has sat on a hard drive for that amount of time and collected to dust, and it doesn't really represent the quality of my channel anymore. And I didn't really want to delete it or get rid of it because I've made a lot of memories and met a lot of friends through this project. And I really wanted to encapsulate it and preserve our history together in some sort of way. So I've decided to make this video where I clipped up the best moments of Khephix SMP. And hopefully you guys enjoy this. It took a lot of work, and this is definitely not my normal editing style. Khephix SMP was going to be a heavily roleplay server where people created their own character with a backstory, kind of like how Dungeons & Dragons is, but without all the dice. It was going to be scripted as well as organic, where sometimes we would make particular scenes and events in the Discord, create set pieces, and act out things live and make content around it, but also be organic, where we would just kind of play Minecraft and hang out and somewhat be in character. It wasn't supposed to be always in character, and just kind of camaraderie and having fun with each other and making some interesting things. There was a mix of streamers as well as normal Minecraft players, and some people went off and made their own character trailers, which I will show you now. The server was constructed with both creative mode as well as handmade in survival Minecraft. The majority of it was handmade, but if there was a deadline crunch or a big dungeon that we needed to work on or some sort of event, then we used creative mode and some commands to get things taken care of. Everything started here at Spawn Boat, where I provided items in these chests from leather armor, torches, food, and basic tools, and I would periodically come back to restock it to make sure people had access to the basic things so that they could get role-playing as fast as possible. Here are a few examples of the first day's roleplay. It was a little haphazard. I'm sure it was a mighty long journey, everyone. We are coming to new lands, for great futures and glory awaits us. Hopefully each one of you find what you were looking for in this new land and lead new lives. Currently, I am helping out Rybrox over at the fishing guild, so to speak, and we are working on the food stocks over there and expanding the port. So make yourself at home, enjoy the festivities, and stay safe.
I am enjoying it so far. I like this.
I don't know. I'm struggling with the roleplay just a little bit here. I'm like a 10-year DM, and I'm struggling with the roleplay. I'm trying so hard though, you know. Over time, roleplay would get a little bit better, a little bit more refined, and a little bit more scripted, as people understood the concept more and got more involved with each other. We eventually wanted to have these big events where we all got together to conquer a dungeon or have a meeting of some sort or a trial, And so we created these elaborate like dungeon structures. There was only 2 of them that was ever made. This one was the Mountain of the Chicken God, and it was going to be our way of careening into the Nether and discovering another parallel universe of our own. And the idea was worlds colliding. So we were all humble Vikings seeking out a new land, and eventually our world would get turned upside down as we discovered future weaponry and aliens and stuff like that, and just weird things. So that would also be another transitioning point when we found the end, so to speak, and learned how to fly with elytras and whatnot. We had a lot of stuff planned and a lot of big ideas that didn't really get to pan out too much, but here is our first dungeon, the Mountain of the Chicken God, where we discovered the Nether. First things first, it is clear that we are moving quite nicely with the port and our trading. I've noticed a new potion shop being made over across the hill. I want to congratulate everybody for taking the time and helping us build the shrine here. And if there's anything anybody would like to talk about, now's the time. Yes, Hamu, welcome.
Hello. I've actually been seeing things. Things I think the mountain has been trying to show me.
I agree with that. Me too.
It was absolutely
I've been hearing
terrifying.
things.
The mountain? I've heard it cry.
I've had a couple bad nightmares, and I've seen some man appear in my house a couple times.
What did he look like?
A chicken.
a chicken. Are you sure it's not seasickness?
I'm pretty positive.
And what has this man done?
You know, he's kind of just shown up and like done really nothing, just stare at me. And then I had a nightmare about like a chicken. And then he killed all my chickens. That was important as well, but
I was so tempted.
I laughed, but I wasn't.
Pascal, this is awesome. Everyone's walking across our bridge.
I know. I love the bridge.
It was my bridge, and I built it. You
The
just
demons
rebuilt it.
attack from the sky.
Ow!
Oh no!
This is
no.
from my children. Let us get into
Chicken,
the
but
mountain
worse.
before the demons take us from
Come
above.
quickly.
I also discovered a cave whenever I was up here trying to build a house before it kicked me off, before the mountain rumbled at me. I got too scared to build up here. I saw a cave system this way.
You
I believe it to be.
venture in.
This is
Be
my
strong, my
nightmare.
children. Venture into the dungeon. Shall
Stay out here and keep
rid this mountain of a demon.
Let's go, sister.
Go first.
Okay, let's go.
Just
Oh no.
Oh no.
Brad, that was such a good idea.
Is everyone
Venture into the
bringing
mountain,
torches?
my children.
Oh
I
man,
don't think we should be in here, everybody.
this feels like a very unholy place.
Yes, it does.
It's like a bad memory.
Remember, if you go down a different path from everybody else, swap voice calls.
All of those who wish to follow me are going this way towards the light.
Guys, I'm coming back.
Is it me or
Oh,
does
wait
it
at the
feel-
crossroads for my brother.
Is it me or does it feel colder in here?
It does feel colder in here.
Who wishes to venture down?
I don't know.
Let's see.
I don't know where everybody. I've got to kind of go towards the end and see where they're
Oh
at. 'Cause
no.
there's like a couple
Shall
people
stick
that's already
together.
getting down there.
Skeleton, we've been surrounded.
There's a light up ahead. We must run.
Oh, I'm super curious.
For
I
safety.
gotta get down here. Oh yes, yes,
Voice
yes,
call.
Tony.
yes, yes. This is what I want.
It's very pug life and Rybrox. We shall switch.
Trap.
Brother, are you okay?
I got hit with the trap.
It's a trap. Do not go this way. Return. Return back. This way.
I'm just watching like the chaos.
Oh yes.
I can't wait to see what everybody else's like streams and stuff look like.
We must go back
Because
and
like
return.
Is this a work of the dawn?
this is such a huge dungeon that we've built.
What sort of evil have we awakened? I fear we have disturbed far greater a being than we have understood.
I agree. I whisper slightly to myself since you're the only one here. Perhaps it is what I've been looking for.
Did you say something just now?
No. This mountain has many winds blowing through it, many of them harsh.
Go, my
Oh
children.
no. Oh god.
Let's go!
You're
You can hear it. You can just hear it.
Oh, I hated that noise.
I'm just gonna like.
That is unholy.
I'm just gonna chill up here.
Like you could just. Yeah. So I want to be as transparent as possible as an admin. Me and a couple of the admins built this area as a shrine to Holy Chicken God, who is the only admin that is never going to play as a character. He just does server checks. He checks out the integrity of the server, checks out lag, monitors stuff, rights wrongs, fixes things, and is just kind of the behind the scenes kind of dude. He gets nothing out of it. He's just fixing problems that pop up. And then it started with this dead drop. Anybody that drops straight down into the black abyss, like if you block this off, it is a perfect, it is an absolutely perfect pitch darkness right here. Like, I know it was hard to see on my stream, so I just wanted to kind of show it, but like without these ladders and without the thing at the bottom here, with the doors closed too, of course, this is like truly pitch dark. So you can actually go through this and not even realize that it's a pit, but also you don't know how far down it goes, and it's a leap of faith, and it is exactly 1 block from death. So what it is if you do anything, literally anything, you will survive this, except if you just straight fall down it. I think we got like 4 people died to it. That was great. Down here, you get some of these secret chests that are like kind of in a little nook and cranny type deal. This was the fishing rod chest with a nice fishing rod. All of them had like gold nuggets in every spot and like a golden apple and like really cool stuff. Right here is the first kind of threats, the first spawner. It looks like people got the spawner out of here because it was a skeleton spawner. There's another one right there. I'm going down here to kind of break them and get rid of them. Into the depths. And then this is the first major kind of opening area. Had a shield chest there and another chest. Oh, some people left some stuff behind. This was interesting. People had found this area early on and was asking about it, so I doubted anybody would go down through this hole here, but I left it. I thought it looked really cool with the vines set up like that. Was the first and only command block area. The command blocks were set to automatically destroy themselves so that they weren't in the game anymore. But there was basically a chest here and a chest here and a chest there. And what would happen is if you opened one of the trap chests, it hit the command block and would drop you down into here, and then it would slowly fill up with lava. We'll talk about the last little bit here. We had the cave spiders here, you know, and it's such a nook and cranny to get down into, because like the whole thing about this dungeon was being extremely weird to get to the exit. Like, you know, this is clearly the path you're supposed to take, and then once you get down to this point, it branches off in a bunch of different directions, even up, and like, you know, towards the spider thing this way, and it's just this little nook. And then the final product right here. This was awesome. Genuinely. Let me get rid of some of these spawners. Made an altar to the chicken god, so to speak. Put a little eye here. There was an item frame with an eye that was renamed. Bunch of different chests, bunch of different stuff. Lots of loot and resources, so to speak. While the roleplay was rough, most people were enjoying the server and enjoying the events. The dungeon went well with mixed reviews. I left it thinking everything went fine. There was a few people that really didn't enjoy it and actually left the server due to it. And I take full responsibility for that. I designed it around a Dungeons & Dragons dungeon and didn't really put any checkpoints or ways out or any way to get back in if something bad was to happen. And that led to some people not enjoying themselves, and they left the server. We also had a few trolls that had to be dealt with and a few griefers here and there, so we got rid of them. But from these kind of ashes, we ended up learning a little bit more about roleplay, started working together, and starting to get kind of the ball rolling on things. And here is a montage of basically what the story of Khephix ended up becoming. Man, I love, like, out of character for just like 2 seconds here. I just love how Elena's stuff looks. It is just so, just mystical almost. Like, I love the design, the little hat that it's got. This is such a cool concept behind everything here. It really is. Oh, there's a little fall there. Greetings.
Good to see you doing well in town. Have you seen Focal Assassin anywhere?
I believe he just left here. I passed him on the way to coming up here.
Interesting. He told me of strange goings on in the areas. Ah, sorry. Sorry to interrupt. I'll go back to looking for him.
Oh, well, hope you find him. Anyway, I found this book as of recent, and I think you might find it quite interesting.
It's an old journal that appears to be slightly singed. You can make out some journal entries, but the dates are indescribable, decipherable. It appears to have been written by some sort of sorcerer, given the insignia of a skull on the cover. I hasn't done it. I hadn't believed it. I've done it. Those blithering dolls in the commune were wrong. I high lone am the soul chosen amongst us. For so longeth mine own work hast gone unrecognized in this. The next few words are smudged out. Bit of conflict in a group of people. Ha ha ha! Those blithering dolls. Lightning never strikes the same lodging twice. Those gents have said, but I have heard it. In high lone west did seek out mine own, the gods of the most wondrous realms. I've did manage to constructeth a way to travel to those realms. Never again shall I beest ridiculed I entered this portal in mere sir. Yond much I agonize, but knoweth this yond upon mine own returneth, I shall emerge a god with most wondrous, controlleth over the forces of life and death than any who cameth before me. The next few pages are smudged and burned, but you can barely make out some cryptic symbols and scribbled ramblings. Before too long, the journal gains some semblance of reasoning. It appears I hath madeth an error most fatal in mine own arrogance. Upon coming through the portal, I did strike with a wandering hellscape, yon did stretch on for infinity. Though did hunt by these pig monsters, but those unfortunate circumstances had leadeth me to mine own prize. There'th is the sand in this nether world yond captures the essence of the soul. I've seen with mine own eyes the anguished faces of the damned trapped inside its grains. It be true couldst harnessed this power, controlleth over the soul. The last few pages detail the use of soul sand as a medium for conjuring the dead. It appears that when burned, soul sand releases energy from souls of the dead. If channeled properly, this energy could be harnessed to control the dead and even resurrect them. Unfortunately, however, this journal seems to end here, though without a resolution, one certainly couldn't deny that the book was interesting and rather methodical for being so old. Now, having finished what you have of the journal, you understand that the author was a pioneer of the Nether some long ago, as his journal contains details for constructing a rather crude portal. Perhaps it could be refined. Interesting.
Just like slime at home, it multiplies when you kill it.
Maybe that just goes to further the idea that this place simply corrupts things.
Perhaps this is a parallel of home.
It certainly seems that way. It's got its own elements, it's got its own inhabitants, it's very...
Oh, right. When we were traveling through the fortress, we saw one of the black skeleton creatures that was on the hill with you.
That's kind of suspicious. I'll look further into that. You don't need to concern yourself with that. I'm sure it's fine. Anyways,
strange.
I'll talk to you later.
Take care of yourself, Vocal.
All right.
Madness seems to eat at him, I fear.
Yes, he does seem occupied with something.
The information that we have found, I believe, is the last that I need. Within this book is quite clearly what I have been searching my whole life for. Ever since the famine. After it took my wife and my child. I think this is the final piece to what I've been looking for. And I think it is time,
Mr. Brimthen?
for me to research. Yes! Welcome, McBro!
I see you've started construction on your house. I hope I'm welcome.
Quite. It is, under construction still. Here, let me give you a tour here. Come with me. As you can tell, we are doing a cathedral-style build. It is going to be extended upwards with a spire. I used the natural terrain here to create kind of footing, triangular and long as it should be. We open into the foyer, which is going to be a single room, no second floor. And this is the feasting hall where I plan to hold a grand celebration for the completion of the house. The stairs upwards leads to the loft, which will be above the my bedroom and the workshop down below. My workshop will be here, and my bedroom will be over here, but it is still under construction. Follow me if you don't mind. It will lead outwards to where a campfire is, and I plan on creating more crops and farmland around here to, never should we ever have to go through a famine again, as you know from the old country.
We seem to be flourishing in this this country here that we've settled in.
Yes, it's been such a humbling experience for me to see our community growing and creating such lavish structures and grand architecture.
Yes, and I became Jarl, which I quite did not expect.
Yes, I was very surprised by that, and an overwhelming majority.
It was, yes. I did think that so many people were in support of me, but I guess it makes logical sense.
How has Jarlship been going for you?
Well, it's been going pretty good, I'd say. I mean, haven't done much so far. Haven't needed to.
I believe our research today from the mountain, I took Elena and Brad and a few of our people down to the base of the mountain to research that structure below. I believe our findings might lead to some further growth across the town.
I see. Would that include any sort of technological growth or any machines?
I am not quite understanding of machines, but perhaps it is the start of what you have told me in your stories.
It seems to be. Well, how have you been faring over here in this kind of outlandish countryside of Khephix?
I have definitely been relaxing, reminiscing of the past, and watching the future grow slowly here. I believe this land is definitely brought to us by the gods, and they sent you to lead us here.
Well, I certainly do hope that I can help this town flourish. More than it already has.
I believe you will do great as a Jarl. As you get your bearings and lead triumphantly through, I believe we can create many great moments together.
So, what all research did you do at the mountain?
Mostly taking a closer look at the structures and seeing what it was made out of to see if we could potentially recreate them.
That's a really good idea. Back in I guess where I come from, that we used to stumble across these structures called they would call them mansions. They're ancient structures, and they had some stuff in there. It looks like people were trying to use magic and structural magic. I don't know how to explain what I'm saying.
I am definitely not versed in magic, but there's definitely something going on with it.
For sure.
I say the growth of this city is what leads to your future you speak of.
Giant metal birds in the sky. Boy, it's wonderful.
I am sure it is.
Maybe I could take you there someday. If I ever figure out how to get back. Maybe ask
I
the
would
gods
love to
send
see
me
it.
back.
I would certainly love to see it someday. Perhaps I may be able to be there myself one day. Anyway, have you visited Denmark or talked to their inhabitants much?
Yeah, I have been to Denmark. In fact, they loaned me some of their wool today.
Oh.
Building some tables in my house, and I needed some cloth for the table, and they provided.
Being so close to Denmark, I sometimes hear from a few of their inhabitants some happenings that goes on. I heard of some disappearances that's been going on around there.
Yeah, me too. I was over there, and it looks like the person's house was the leader of Denmark, I believe. His house has been blown up.
I wasn't aware that it was the leader. Very interesting. So it affects anybody that's over there.
Yeah, I don't know. It's quite mysterious. I don't think much is known at this point.
I understand. Well, I plan on being a lot more active throughout the entire community and helping with building and such. Hopefully we can grow this together. My farming days are slowly becoming over as there's more food than I'll ever eat.
I'm certainly happy that there's no more famine in this land.
Yes, the future generations, I pray, will never have to go through the hardships that we had in the old country.
Well, from what I know of the future generations, everyone gets to eat like a king.
That is good. That is definitely the future that I'd want to see. It seems we've been watched this whole time.
We have. Seems to be fleeing.
Huh. I'm not sure about that person. I don't know who it is, but I've noticed a few people lurking around.
He's been doing that to me too. Yeah, he's a bit of a stalkerish person in the town. I still don't know his name though. Never personally met him.
He's always distant.
Always.
I can't never catch his face to see who it is. It seems the sky demons attack one of our own again. Well, I appreciate you stopping by, Jarl McBro. I bid you great blessings and hope the gods favor you still.
Is this? And give us your side of the story.
Yeah.
What you know.
So I was going to the docks to sell some of my wares that I had mined, and I came up and I saw Hemming and Boom arguing about something. I didn't catch what it was. I walked up and I asked if I could buy a shop to, sell my stuff at. And Hemming said that he would regret selling me said shop. And I set up my shop, and then Hemming just ran up and blew up a corner of the dock.
I mean, this does seem quite sudden. I mean, it wasn't that long ago that this happened.
Well, you have the right to a speedy trial.
I mean, I guess, yes, I am quite busy.
Well, how about we go see the damages, and we can see it for our own eyes what it is that has happened.
So, this is the results of the little corner I blew up. This little bit of pillar here. Good thing it wasn't a super important support structure. Well, actually, kind of sad it is, honestly, because the intention was for it to fall down, but...
You said your intention was to knock down this house?
Well, this is part of the shops. This is one of the shops.
So you intended to sabotage Crasher's shops? Or
I intended to cripple his business to prevent him from amassing greed and becoming corrupt with money.
How would that resolve by blowing up a structure?
The gods works in mysterious ways. I wouldn't trifle with what the gods decide, and as the Oracle, he is in tune with the gods.
Fear death. I don't know where this is coming from.
Have you ever met with them? Spoken with them?
I have not, though it has always been a goal of mine, a dream, something I wish to do before I die, to be able to speak with them.
I believe that the gods are not on trial here. What is on trial is Mr. Hemming's decision to blow up part of public property. And while it is privately built and managed by Mr. Boom, as it were, but the entire dock stood at risk, and that is many people's livelihoods.
It's becoming clear to me that this is not going in really any directions. Brimthen, what do you in your old town, what did you do whenever supposed possible crimes happened?
In the old ways, there was many deliberations. It first comes down to if there was a witness or not, and that is the first question that I must ask on here. Who saw what happened? We say Dark did, correct?
Yes.
But Dark has things to gain from this. He's associated with Mr. Boom. In our old ways, when two are in bed with each other, we do not side with them as a witness. We do not have a witness for these events, and only the gods have seen it. Sure, many of us on the jury have differing opinions on what the gods will, and the gods are not on trial here. However, as we do not have the usual 12 for Kedr, we could not possibly make a decision upon one's soul. We would need to leave it for the gods to decide. That being said, we could not convict him of a criminal, but we can allow the gods to make the decision for us, by trial by combat. Very well. We will have a trial in the future. We will set a schedule, and we will send it out through this new method called the Daily Bread, I'm assuming.
I'd be happy to run an issue on it.
Very well. May the gods shine favorably on Hemming's soul, or Mr. Boom's, should they decide favorably on one or the other. There is some footage that is missing. I didn't do the best of jobs in this 2 years of maintaining the integrity of the files. I lost all of Fogel's Coliseum, and let me tell you, it was an immaculate design. If I find those files, or if I get another person's footage of it, I'll make a part 2, because I wouldn't be able to do it justice in this one video. Like, nothing else we did really compares to Fogel's Coliseum. Like, the floor dropped out in it, and like there was like water mazes and these bosses and like all this crazy stuff going on, and it ended up leading us to the end where there was this giant castle with like puzzles and like lore, and it was just so beautifully made. I wish I had my footage of it, because I would have broken it down more in this. But like I said, if I find it, I'm going to make a part 2 for it, because it really deserves its own video. but I don't have any right now. So Focal, if you're listening to this and you have any of the footage, please send it to me because I want to work with it. You know what I mean? But anyway, reminiscing on Khephix is a mixed bag. There's both bad memories and good memories. We had 32 players and it dwindled down to about 17, mostly due to, you know, people having lives and having to go off and do their own things and, you know, things getting in the way. You know, even me, I was working at the railroad at the time. Sometimes I was working 40 hours in a 56-hour period. You know, I even found myself not being able to participate as much as I'd want to, and I really dropped the ball on it. Oftentimes I found myself adminning instead of actually role-playing or playing with other people because I didn't fully grasp what all the trials and tribulations were. I had never had any experiences running a Minecraft server or managing this large group of people, both through Discord as well as on the server. And it took up a lot of my time. I spent a large portion of my time behind the scenes, making sure the server was okay, making sure everybody was happy, you know, being the intermediary between disputes and, you know, cleaning up griefer messes and any sort of issues that were going on the server. And then I would create guides to help people understand the roleplay concept, as well as like discuss like today's announcement video. This is what's going on in the server. This is what's happened. Here's how you can get involved. You know, I was always trying to bring the group together, so to speak. And I honestly did the best that I could, but I dropped the ball on being there, and a large portion of people that were in the server were here to like play games with me and hang out with me and do things with me, and they weren't really like connecting together as a group. And the whole of this project was to work together as a group, you know. So you would have like this group of people over here creating their own story, and you may never even hear their story. You would have to go to their channel and listen to them and follow what's going on, because it wasn't a singular design where it was just about me or just about Focal or just about anybody. Like, it was always a big group activity with interconnecting narratives, and that interconnecting narrative never really took shape. The gears kind of grinded together. But ultimately, at the end of the day, I think it was destined to kind of fail, because I, as a leader, couldn't really be there for my people or be there for the project as much as I had wanted to. I wasn't able to create the quality that I was looking for, and ultimately it ended up failing, mostly because it all fell down on 1 to 3 people's shoulders to really build everything. Poor Focal pretty much was by himself the entire time working on the Coliseum. I think he said something like he put 60 or 70 hours into it, and there was just nobody really helping him. I mean, he had a little bit of help, I think, but at the end of the day, whenever something needed to be done, it fell onto just a few people's shoulders instead of the whole group, and it really needed more manpower and more enthusiastic about what we were doing there. Everybody showed up for events, which was nice, but that was all, basically. At the end of the day, though, I think it was a success because I went on to meet so many cool people, and those people have went on to play games with me in the future, and I've made so many lifelong friendships through this project. Like, you know who you are, but we have talked almost on the dailies. Like, there's so many people from this that I have made genuine friendships, and they've went on to play video games with me on stream and like co-guest star in many things, and even go on my podcast and hang out doing cool stuff. And we later made a hardcore Minecraft server that we ended up playing Minecraft again together, just without all the role play and stuff that was making everything a little bit too complicated for this particular server. So at the end of the day, I count the entire thing as a success. You know, we had some bad memories, some good memories, but just like life, that's how it goes sometimes, you know? And I'm really proud of everybody's achievements that was on this server. I'm proud of what everybody put in and their hard work. And I really didn't want to just lose this memory to time and it just keep collecting dust on a hard drive. I wanted to show some of what had happened and have this kind of video that could be dedicated to all the hard work and energy that people put into this. You know, and I really do love and appreciate everybody that was on this project. And honestly, some of my best friendships was made from it. And I cannot stress that enough. Like, I love the people that I have met from this. And I genuinely hope maybe to do another large group project like this in the future. But ultimately, it just takes so much effort and so much work and time and energy. And this kind of stuff is sat on a hard drive for literally 2 years. So it's hard to edit and get this together as just one person, especially if you're working other jobs or doing other stuff. And, you know, at the end of the day, it is what it is. You know, we made the best of this as we could, and some of the coolest stuff happened from it. And I'm just really, 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 really proud of everybody and everybody that I met in this. And, you know, I think it was cool. It was a cool project. It was a cool idea, you know, and that's all I got to say at the end of the day.